thought on what possessions are and what like what the devil is, what's negativity, what's positivity. So basically, I just did this really quick. I scribbled on a piece of paper. So pretend this circle is the human body, or even the spinal cord, and then you have something called in Judaism they call it klipat noga, or it just means neutral energy. But it's something that's neither good nor bad, but it's material. It's very substantial. It's substance, but it's constantly pushing on the body like gravity, and the body's made up of light, and it's exuding such that whenever it touches the body, it turns into positivity. So the human being turns everything into positive perception. It's always pressing on the body, and then once upon a time, if the person, which is the body or the spine or the neurological system, decides I want to do something that's against mainstream society, basically for this doing harm to others, it becomes the opposite polarity, and therefore you welcome in the klipa noga penetrates the body, and it turns into darkness, and it clouds the neurological system, and then it can go up to the brain area, and that can cause a possession, demonic possession, or whatever you want to call it, Satan possession. It just means that the negative side of your being has taken over because of what's out here in the physical world. That negative perception takes over, negative agenda. Now, this part is always a portion in our world, and it's a part of us, but it's neutral. It doesn't generally have a negative will. But when you decide on negativity, the klipa no converts into negativity, and so the neutral turns into negative, takes over the mind, and then it leads to a domino effect. And that's why in religion they preach you should do good and not bad, because the agenda to do bad and to take vengeance could be very damaging. And so it's not just about vengeance and doing harm, it's about doing what you know to be wrong. And so in such a case, the negative side can take over. And that's why in a society where less things are wrong, it's just not the norm. Like, you're not saying it's wrong because you're a bad person. You're saying it's wrong because it's just not the most ethical thing. Those people generally have an easier time not falling into negativity because there's less resistance. And so when you have more resistance, it causes more of a barrier between what's good and bad, and therefore it leads to more things being bad. So the positive about religion is that you avoid bad much more often, but the negative about you avoid converting things into bad. But the negative side effect is that more things can be interpreted as bad. So the rest of the world is bad, and they're on defensive, and so they have to have a community to perceive as good, so that everything else is bad. And so it's hard to find a middle ground of realizing everything is good and everything is God and everything is light. And it's hard to get into the esoterics as a result of your body exuding the light out there, converting the klipa noah, converting all matter into positivity. Those kinds of notions get forgotten as a result of the lack of separation between the external and the internal, or the excess separation between the external and the internal, when there's supposed to be less barriers.